It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day. My neighbor, my neighbor. It's a neighborly day. My neighbor, my neighbor. It's a neighborly day.
There you go. All right. So today I have a pleasure of presenting someone special. His name is CJ, the smart guy. He's a crypto asset CPA, amazing at what he does. And I just want to go ahead and say, oh, yes, also, there's something special for all of you that are attending tonight's first neighborhood talk. Everyone who's listening right now, just take a screenshot and post it in the official Discord in a POAP channel with your wallet address, and you'll receive a free NFT. And that's is that simple.
Yo,
All
Mocha,
right.
am I eligible for NFT? I just want a free NFT. I want to know. I want one.
Well, you got to be following neighborhood sales Twitter and and you got to be in the Discord, of course.
All right, so I
So,
qualify.
all right, there you go.
I
All right,
qualify.
so let the so CJ, let the audience know where you're from and how you got in this space.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for having me. They call me CJ the Smart Guy. My real name is Charles J. Kelly. I'm a certified public accountant, which essentially means that the government has signed.
I think you muted CJ.
Oh, sorry about that. Um, I was saying my full name is Charles J. Kelly. They call me CJ the Smart Guy. I'm a certified public accountant, meaning the government has signed off saying that I know what I'm doing from a tax perspective, from an economics perspective, from a bookkeeping perspective, and from an audit, tax, bookkeeping, and a business economics perspective. And so I've been in the crypto space since 2017. I used to work at a Vector 90 with Nipsey Hussle, and currently I'm working at the Bitcoin Academy, which is funded by Jay Z and Jack Dorsey. And so my goal is just to educate and to keep as many people safe in the space as possible, because the audits are coming, and I just want to make sure you guys are well informed of everything before it happens.
That's dope, CJ. I had to tell you, man, I've been a fan since I've learned about you, man, and I've done a lot of research on you, and I just want to hear for yourself, man. What made you specialize in bookkeeping for crypto assets specifically?
Yeah, for sure. So in 2017, I had two mentors, Nipsey Hussle and Dr. Boyce Watkins, and they was both pointing me in the direction of crypto. I was already studying for my CPA exam, and so when they told me about this crypto stuff, the first thing I started to learn was about the blockchain technology. And when I realized what cryptocurrency really did, it automated accounting jobs. If every single transaction is traced on the blockchain, if we're able to label every public wallet as a certain expense category, bookkeeping, the way it's done currently with fiat money, is going to be completely obsolete. And so I was like, oh, I started doing my research, and I was like, the accountants that were doing everything by paper, writing T accounts, the ones before the internet, they got obsolete once the internet came in. And I was like, so instead of me being one of them older people, let me hop on this new thing. And so I started studying it. I was studying blockchain cryptocurrency before it even hit the CPA exam.
Wow.
And so I'm about 3, 4 years ahead of the average CPA. Now I would say probably 2 years ahead, um,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what got me into it.
that is dope, man. That's a cool story. Glad to have you sharing it with the people, man.
Goodness, that was a lot. Like I commend you. I commend you, CJ. All right.
Seriously.
So I already know the answer to this, but which cryptocurrency are you a fan of?
Oh, for sure. So I feel as though Bitcoin itself represents a new financial system for the entire world. Whether the governments adopt it, I believe the people will adopt it. So I'm big on Bitcoin just because I see overall power that it has with the 21 million scarcity, with the decentralization. But I'm not necessarily just a Bitcoin maxi because I feel as though the technology of blockchain will produce some really great projects. I just think that we're so early in the game that it's like the internet back in like 1993, 94, 95. A
Yeah,
lot of those companies that came out, we don't hear about them no more. We don't hear about Gateway. We don't hear about AOL. We don't hear about Yahoo as much. And so, I don't think we've hit the point where the Amazons and the Facebooks and the Googles are going to be here yet. But I do feel as though they will come, and hopping on some of those projects early can be very beneficial to you.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, I see you in my eyes as this blockchain guru as far as you know crypto assets, right? But I got to ask you, man, are you into the NFT space? And if so, does one have your eye? Does any NFT project have your eye? Hoping you say Neighborhood Tales, right, Mocha?
Right. I was just going to say that. Throw it in there.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like the NFT space. I know me personally, I've had my own NFT. And then I looked at the model that Nipsey had, where he had the 100 or the 1,000 CDs for $100, and how that was like a physical NFT. And I think the community is the most important piece. And I was talking to Mocha earlier, and she was just, because I noticed that the Twitter name for you guys had changed, and I was like, what happened? And she was just explaining that, something out of y'all control happened with your account, like it got suspended or something. And when that happens, I immediately understand, because anybody who's powerful in this crypto space, that's what we come up against. And it reminds me like what happened with NWA when they first came out and they were making a whole bunch of moves, and then all of a sudden their music got banned. And so I think that you guys are, keep doing what you're doing, because in the day, like the FBI, they sent a stop letter to NWA, but they kept going, and look out what that produced. And so, in this NFT thing, even taking a screenshot of that, you guys have been suspended. Man, that's going to be worth something as long as you keep the community up. So I'm a huge advocate of NFTs. I think that every creator should be creating NFTs. I think every event should have POAPs. I'm big into it. Me personally, I do NFTs more for the purpose, more than trying to make a whole bunch of money. Just like with artwork, I'm not somebody who buys artwork to resell it for a whole bunch of money. I'm the one who likes to buy it because I like to talk about the artists themselves
Yeah,
when people come over. So yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what's
I
up.
say you should definitely do some digging into this one because this is more than about artwork with ours too. And we actually have a game that's attached with it. But that's a different conversation. Um, so I did. So can you tell me more about your ventures in the blockchain space? Because I do know you were telling me about Blackout. So if you want to like let the people know about that, you can.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm part of a group called the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. The co-founders were Lamar Wilson and Isaiah Jackson. And September 2nd till 4th in Charlotte, we're having something called a Blackout Conference. It's a Black-owned Bitcoin cryptocurrency conference. It's not, even though it's called the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, we want everybody in the crypto, the blockchain, the Web3 space to attend. It's going to be huge. Um, and so I would hope that you guys show up. I'll be one of the speakers. And the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, it's a group of 155,000 people. Lamar was just speaking at Invest Fest. He's been on the 85 South show, the Breakfast Club, and he's doing something with Angela Yee now. So the group is really big and it's really strong. So if you're trying to network and really get to know the heavy hitters, you should definitely come September 2nd to 4th in Charlotte. Um, it's called the Blackout event. You can go to blackout.xyz and check out more of it.
That's dope. That's dope, CJ. September 2nd to the 4th. That sounds like a hot event for Charlotte. I know that there's a lot of events going on, man. But as far as just doing research, that's something I do when I learn of people. And I got wind, man, that you're affiliated with Black Bitcoin Billionaire. Can you tell the audience more about that opportunity?
Yeah, for sure. So, December 2020, everything that pretty much closed down, like the
Yeah.
whole world with COVID. And so I was miserable. I was like, man, I got to go network with somebody. So I was just on Twitter, and I seen Lamar had said that he was creating a clubhouse, and I had never heard of Clubhouse before, but I downloaded the app, and when I was on it, like a whole bunch of people in the crypto space was on the app, and Lamar had created a group called the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, and so it was maybe 200-300 people going back and forth with their ideologies,
Wow.
here or there. But me being a CPA, like nobody else really had the tax knowledge. Nobody else really had the bookkeeping. And so that became my niche.
Yeah.
Like we have other people who have other things. Lamar's a developer. Isaiah, he's got his book, Bitcoin in Black America. Dr. Shalair, she's in the cannabis industry. Um, T Max travel around the whole world. And so we have people that have their own niche and it connects to Bitcoin. And so if you're a developer, you got Lamar. If you got NFT people, um, we've got uh, Sam Kimbrough. We've got a whole bunch of different people in the space that have their respective niches. And so it's just a great place to network.
Yeah. Man, you think about that, right? So like you were in your lane, right? You didn't waver out of your lane. You know your lane is being a CPA. You found a network to tap into and add value to. Man, that's just a great example of just staying in your lane and adding value where value is needed. So I appreciate you sharing that, man.
That part, yeah, appreciate it. That's love, yeah. Because look, I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you guys about developing. I don't know
Right.
nothing about that.
It is my job.
Yeah, that's Mocha. Mocha on the block for sure.
All right. So, do you have any advice for crypto holders filing taxes? Because I know, like, the government is cracking down. Like, I know. So, is there any advice you can give them, or something they should be looking out for whenever time comes to for the next tax year?
Yeah, for sure. So if there was ever a time to take notes, this would be the time. Um, so here's maybe like six different things just to be prepared for. The first one is August 5th. There were two laws that were passed. One for the PPP loans, one for the EIDL loans. So if you're a business owner and you took out any of that, even if you're on the personal, just know that those audits are about to ramp up. Third one is that the infrastructure bill that was passed a while back, that is going to be paid through additional tax enforcement through cryptocurrency. And with the Inflation Reduction Act that just passed the Senate, they're going to add 87,000 additional IRS agents. And so, under the previous two administrations, both Obama and Trump, they lowered the amount of IRS agents, and now Biden is increasing it to levels higher than before Obama. And so, with all that being said, you're about to see a huge amount of audits. You're going to see a huge amount of letters coming out, and I want to make sure that you guys are prepared. Um, in 2019, they asked a question about virtual currency on your tax return, your 1040, but it was on Schedule One. Most most people don't use a Schedule One when they file their taxes, so it went like under the radar. And then in 2020, they moved it from Schedule One to the very first page of your tax return. In 2021, they changed the question just a little bit, and then in 2022, they're changing the question again. But for 2020, 2021, and 22, it's on the very first page of your tax return. And so, one thing about taxes is if you're a little bit off, like you're 5, 6, 7% off on what you owe, they only have 3 years to audit you. So I try not to get people too wrapped up in a frenzy. If they try their best, they should be okay. If you're off 10 to 25%, they have they have 6 years to audit you. But if you commit fraud, evasion, or you're more than 25% off on what you owe, then they have an infinite amount of time to audit you. And if you check that box no, and you've been in this crypto space, that's considered fraud. So that means in 30, 40 years from now, when you buying a house and you on your yacht, your jet, because Bitcoin is high or Ethereum or whatever you invest in, your NFTs is taking off. and you go to buy that house, they go back to 2021 and they're like, hey, you check this box no, and we see you got
Wow.
this money through crypto, and that's when the audit comes. Because right now they don't have the technology to really do it, but in 20 years they will.
Yeah.
Chances are in 5 years they will. So you want to make sure if anything else you check that box yes if you're in this crypto space, and they're going to know because if you've done any KYC on any of the exchanges, they're just going to do a double verification, especially Coinbase, because Coinbase is the feds.
Yeah.
Like they not only work with the government, they work with ICE. So they're tracking every move you make, they're tracking everything,
Yeah.
which goes against everything that Bitcoin and crypto is about.
Facts.
um, so if in 2020, 2021, 2019, you didn't check that box, yes, I highly recommend you guys do an amendment, which means that instead of being a 1040, it's a 1040X. You could take it to your local tax agent. It's probably not best if you mail it in because the IRS is still behind. They're about 6 to 12 months behind with paper returns. Um, so you could still get audited while you didn't send the amendment. So what you want to do is go up to your tax office, give them the 1040X, and be like, hey, all I did was change this one box, but I want to take fraud and evasion off the table. That's the biggest thing. And then the last piece to this is organize yourself. I use a software called Coinly with a K. Personally, I think all the tax software suck when it comes to crypto, but it's the best one for just management. I would not trust the numbers, just like I wouldn't trust the numbers on any 1099s that you might receive from any of these companies. Make sure everything that you get tax wise from any crypto company is verified with somebody who's in the crypto space, as a CPA or enrolled agent, um, just because most of these companies don't know what they're doing. I work with a company that, well, I work with the employees of a company that um, really screwed over their employees greatly. And I have one client in particular who paid over $1 million in taxes with money he never even received, and he
Wow.
can't do anything about it because he signed some paperwork. So don't trust these companies whatsoever. Not as an investor or as a employee. Make sure you do your complete verification, and the way you do that is to check with a CPA, and then double check that CPA's work with another CPA just to make sure. Because at the end of the day, is your money. With more freedom comes more responsibility.
Man, well, there you have it, man. Everything crypto asset regarding compliance and regulatory. We already know that the governance is coming so heavily with blockchain, but like you mentioned, the technology is just not there, but it will be. So it's best to get the jump on all of this regulatory and compliance stuff from a crypto blockchain standpoint. So I appreciate you going over that, man. But we run this little segment here on Neighborhood Talk, CJ, and as a guest, man, you have to participate, man. All right. So it's called Neighborhood Cap or Facts. All right. And essentially, it's a series of 4 questions, and we're going to ask you to just respond cap or fact. And if you choose cap or fact, we do need you to get your reasoning on why, or just a short reasoning on why you say cap or fact. So, Mocha, why don't you start off with the first cap or fact question for CJ?
Yeah. So, CJ, 50 Ethereum, is that better than 10 Bitcoin? Cap or facts?
Big cap, cap
Yeah,
completely.
I already
All right,
knew.
tell us why. Tell us why, CJ.
Look, I look at Bitcoin as the new world reserve asset. And I feel as though one day a Bitcoin is going to be worth over $1 million within 20, 30 years. I think that Ethereum is an upgrade to Microsoft, and I think it's going to do great. I think it's going to do very well. I'm not like, saying anything bad about Ethereum, but we're talking about a company versus a worldwide asset. And so I think the two aren't even comparable. I think that they are very different in nature. And personally, I'd rather have the world reserve asset than a company. Like I'd rather have actual physical gold than a stock that just represents another company, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Now I'll tell you, man. Some of our listeners listening in, they might flood your DMs and tell you you're wrong, man. But I respect
That's
what you
cool.
said, though. I respect what you said, though, man. Because here's the thing: the next question for Cap and Fact, and you pretty much answered it, but I'm gonna still ask it. Bitcoin, is it going to $1 million? Cap or facts?
Oh, fact. That's how I feel. And I think that's going to happen within our like lifetime, but very short lifespan. Like that's not even going to be until easily see that happen within 20, 30 years. I feel like Bitcoin will probably hit 100 million, but we may not be here by that time. But just the way that's set up with only 21 million to ever be out there,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
the scarcity model is the biggest piece to that.
Yeah, not.
Um,
Oh shit, sorry.
nah, you good, you good.
Oh, so what I was gonna say was like it is true, and I see where you're coming from because of the fact that the U.S. government got millions in Bitcoin. They don't have millions in Ethereum or any other crypto. Like, so that should tell you something, you know. So just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, well, you said 100 million, so y'all heard it here first on Neighborhood Talk. CJ said Bitcoin is going to 100 million, so
Yeah, put that reminder on for like 60 years.
60
But
years.
yeah, 60 years. That's how I feel.
That's real.
Get some sats.
Yeah. All right,
All right,
CJ. Oh, yep, Mocha. Why don't you go ahead and ask CJ the next cap or fact question?
all right. So is cryptocurrency a fad that'll pass away? Cap or fact?
That's big cap. Look, cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. July 7th, 2022, Joe Biden just got the framework for America's cryptocurrency, a CBDC. So even though right now it might be like, hey, buy this one and this one to the moon, that might be a fad. But the overall concept of cryptocurrency, we're at the very beginning of a you know 200-year run in cryptocurrency, and we're at the very beginning. So it's definitely not a fad. But maybe the to the moon and the Shibas and the Doges, those might be fads. But the overall concept of cryptocurrency is just at the very beginning.
Agreed.
Dope, dope. All right, man. I'm really interested on your answer for this, man, because this is a was a really big topic for a long time. But cap or fact, man, XRP is going to win the case against the SEC. Cap or fact?
Ah, man, that's a
Yeah,
tough one
I know, man.
because it's one of these things where even if you win, you lose. Even if you lose, you win. Um, I think that the technology with XRP somehow, some way, with Brian, I forget his last name, with Brian Brooks, I feel as though somewhere is going to be used with the technology of the the CBDC that the government is using somehow, some way, just because Brian Brooks is pushing this XRP very heavy. He used to be in the Trump administration. He used to work at the
Yeah,
Binance, so he's so heavily connected that I can't downplay political connections. And so, cap or fat? Look, I don't want to say cap
yeah, yeah.
or fat. I feel like I'm neutral.
Oh man,
Because
come on.
even
I
even if they
respect that,
win, they're
man.
gonna
But
lose, and if they lose, they're gonna win.
and that's how I know, man.
If I
CJ.
got to,
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to.
I'm gonna say little cap. How about that? I'll be
You
like,
said
look,
little facts.
little cap, because
Little cap. All right, little cap.
Little
little
cap.
cap,
Little
little
cap.
cap,
Okay, I wanted to make sure. Okay.
because
Well, go ahead, CJ.
Well, I did want shit. Oh,
I
CJ,
was
you want
going,
to say something?
yeah, I was gonna say like two ways to look at it. I feel like almost every single coin outside of Bitcoin truly, for the most part, is a security. It's just I don't care if it's a security. Like, why do we have to go through all these barriers to entry? Um, I love the crypto market. I love how it's changed the game. But I do feel as though if we're going by the how we test, these are securities.
Yeah,
It's just I just don't care. Like I feel like 1933 is so old.
yeah.
Like get rid of that. So I'm on the
Facts.
crypto team, but I do know that these are mostly securities.
For sure. That's real
All
stuff,
right.
man.
Agreed.
But I agree. Yeah.
And I did want to move to the next segment. So does the audience have any questions? Raise your hand.
Yeah, there's an option to raise your
If
hand
not,
on
we
there.
can move on.
Yeah. We don't want to waste our CPA's time. I'm sure he got better things to be doing outside of you know, waiting on us to flood him with more questions.
All right, then. Well, I guess that's that. So, CJ, I would like to thank you for coming on and blessing us with all of your knowledge because it was a lot, and I actually
Yeah.
typed out all the things that you were saying. All right. So, do you have any final words for the listeners? Like, how can they reach you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it. Yeah, so if you really want to get involved with the community, the Blackout event in Charlotte, September 2nd to 4th, is probably the best event that you can attend. I know there's lots of other events, but this one is for us, by us. And Lamar Wilson is probably the best developer ever. He's been in Bitcoin since 2012, and he's the one who really got me into it. So I look at him as like a double OG, triple OG in this space. So if you want to get involved, go to that. If you want to ask me any questions, feel free to DM me. I haven't really been taking clients since March because I've been so booked up. But I tried to make sure I educate the community as much as possible with what's going on because these audits are ramping up faster than a lot of people were believing. I already got a couple people who said they got sent letters literally today, and I'm like, man, they just signed these laws on the 5th and they've already started sending some letters. So that's my goal. You can find me on all major platforms at CJ the Smart Guy, including YouTube, where I have my podcast where I interview different people from the space. But just make sure if you follow me in other places, no extra letters, no extra numbers, no extra dashes, underscores, because there's lots of fake pages out there and they do try to scam. So CJ the Smart Guy, no extra nothing, across all platforms.
Amazing. All right. So I did want to reiterate to the audience, everybody who's listening right now, just take a screenshot and post it in the official Discord and a PoEP channel with your wallet address and you'll receive a free NFT. And the PoEPs will be airdropped in the near future. For those who don't know what POAP mean, it stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. And you can also find the Discord link in Neighborhood Tales Twitter bio.
Bet. Yo, no, I appreciate you, CJ. CJ, I don't know if you have time for a question from one of our listeners. I think a question came up last minute. Did you have time for a quick question?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
All right. And I think it was Jay, one of our listeners. Jay, did you have a question? All right. We can put a placeholder on that question, Jay, and we can probably circle back and get CJ's input on that question. But essentially, if you do have um, a question, you just need to ask to be invited as a speaker, and we can absolutely make you a speaker because we want all of our listeners to be heard. Jay, actually, we just sent you a request to be a speaker, and if you can hear me, go ahead and accept that, and we can let that question come through. We definitely want our listeners to be able to pose questions on our platform here at Neighborhood Talk. So, but while Jay's doing that, I do want to CJ again. You know, I got a question for you, man. You know, if someone wanted to get into the CPA crypto asset educational part of this thing, right? How could they do that? Like, what would be your single point of advice? Would it be maybe getting to like take a course, or would it be to go to college? What's your take on someone following in your footsteps?
Man, really understand what you're getting yourself into. The process to becoming a CPA was miserable. Um, I have a I have like a podcast that talks about it, like my journey to becoming a CPA. Essentially, you have to have 150 credit hours of college. You have to have um, 60 credits of accounting. You have to have a degree. You have to sit under a CPA for 2 years. And then you have to pass the uniform CPA exam, which is four exams that you have to pass within an 18-month time period. And so if you pass three and 18 months go by, then you have to go retake the first one. And every 2 years they change the tests. And then when you take the tests, they adapt to you. So let's just say it's 150 questions. There's going to be like five sections of 30, And the first section is pretty easy. So you say you get like 27 out the first 30 questions, and you think you're doing good. But then that next section, those 3 questions you missed, they're going to have like 10 questions about the ones you missed, just to see if you messed up just with that one question or how in depth you don't know. So when you study, you got to study the parts that you don't like the most.
Sound
And
like
so
a
that's
set.
why, yeah, that's why there's less than 1% of CPAs are black in the space,
Wow.
because it's a huge barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And so if it's like this, the road to get here is horrible, but once you're here, man, it's like the grass is just green everywhere you go because everybody needs you. And I can, I'm going to speaking engagements around the whole country. I got one in New York and Charlotte,
Yeah.
Atlanta, and I don't even have to do a lot of the work at this point because I have people who I'm hiring to do a lot of that stuff.
Nice.
So now life is good, but the road to get here was
Was a setup in
It's
green.
good. Yeah. But listen, man, here's the thing. See, I feel empowered, so I'm hoping our listeners feel empowered. This is what Neighborhood Talk is all about, right? Having the dopest guest on our platform to empower our listeners in this space, right? Because we want our story to be told in this space. We want to we will be represented in this space, man. And so there you have it, CJ, the CPA legend in my books. I hope that's okay for me to call you that, CJ, man. I truly appreciate you sharing with the listeners and being on Neighborhood Talk, our platform. We are, for those who don't know, we are the newest, the latest, and soon to be most influential Web3 platform to exist. And so I want to thank our listeners for chiming in and our supporters. There's so much happening. I just want to just announce tomorrow, you don't want to miss this. I'm talking about, CJ was awesome, right? But we got another legend coming in. We talking about none other than the NBA point guard, in my opinion. One of the top 10 all-around point guards ever to play the game of basketball at a level that he played at. I'm talking about a two-time NBA All-Star. I'm talking about Baron Davis tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going down. It's happening. You don't want to miss what this guy has to talk about in this space. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell people who don't know about crypto, who don't know about this space. Get them all here tomorrow. Share the link with your people. It's going down. We got Baron Davis in the house tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about that. I want y'all to look forward to giveaways in the future, shows. We're all about giving back. It's happening right here on this platform. We are that platform that shares, right? And so I'm excited about that. You want to join our Discord for exclusive updates. Everything in Neighborhood Tales, everything regarding Neighborhood Talk, you can find it in our Discord. All you got to do is go to our Twitter page, click on a link, join the Discord, talk about free NFTs and giveaways. All that information, the latest content happens right there. All right. You want to also catch us in Nashville. I'm going myself. I just booked my flight. I'm so excited to be a part of NFT Nashville. That's happening September 1st through the 5th. You want to make sure if you can, get to NFT Nashville. My dog, I'm talking about my brother, Chiz, the creator of Neighborhood Tales, will be on a stadium-packed platform talking about this project, Neighborhood Talk, Neighborhood Tales, and everything that comes with it. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to join my brother. In addition to that, I want to, again, thank our listeners and our supporters. Neighborhood 12s on Twitter. NH Tales, you can find us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us for the latest content and all of our airdrops and giveaways. We're in Neighborhood Tales on IG, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, and LinkedIn. It's been an absolute pleasure. I want to thank all of our listeners and supporters. CJ, I appreciate you, man. It's going down tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meet us here.
Would you be mine? Would you be